What's up, fellow go-givers? It's first thing in the morning, and you know, I woke up this morning with something that was just like so pressing on my mind. And the thing that I thought about was happiness. Now, how to define happiness as an entrepreneur, right? Because you have people living their best lives on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, LinkedIn is starting to happen more and more. And oftentimes, how you feel about your life and the conditions that color your life can oftentimes be colored, right? Because people are constantly comparing themselves to what other people have or what other people look like, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I was thinking about, what does the combination mean for me, right? What are the things that are driving me as an entrepreneur? And I went to ChatGPT for some help. And what ChatGPT helped me come up with is my happiness ratio or formula, right? So one of the first questions I asked ChatGPT was, what does freedom mean? Because for me, that is the primary reason why I chose entrepreneurship, right? And ChatGPT said freedom can be defined as the power or right to act, think, and speak without undue external constraints or interference. And it encompasses the ability to make choices, take action, pursues one's goals and desires while respecting the rights and freedoms of others. And I knew entrepreneurship was going to be my jam for a long time before I actually stepped 2 feet into it, right? But I remember I was working as an investment advisor in an environment where I just didn't feel free. I felt like I was walking on eggshells all the time, right? I was the only pepper in the room, if you catch my drift. And I did appreciate the environment. It helped to grow me. There are certain skill stacks and knowledge stacks, wisdom stacks that I acquired from being in that environment. So I'm very appreciative of it. But I knew at the end of the day, I just wasn't going to be free to be me and express the things that matter most to me in that environment, because it just wasn't going to resonate. We weren't vibrating. Totally different people and stage of life, et cetera, right? Then I went to ChatGPT and I asked it to define financial independence. And it said financial independence is the state of having sufficient personal wealth, income, or assets to cover living expenses and maintain your desired lifestyle while relying on traditional employment or external financial support. It's about achieving a level of financial security and freedom that allows you to make choices based on your goals and values rather than financial necessity, right? And I thought that was fascinating too. Because I think we all have enough, so often we start pursuing a dollar amount, right? I'm very clear on where I expect to be 2 to 3 years from now and the amount of money I expect to be depositing as income into my deposit accounts on a monthly basis. But there's another interesting question, right? What's your floor? Right, so we all have these aspirant goals, but be real with yourself. What's your floor, right? If your business endeavors paid a certain floor, what would the floor need to be for you to be good? Right? For you to feel like you're no longer simply getting up and waking up in the morning and trading your time for dollars, right? Where you've kind of got money as an issue out the way. What's your floor? I think it's a better question to ask. I think it's a more fascinating question to ask, right? What's your floor? Let's say hypothetically your floor was 100K, right? How good would it feel? Maybe you didn't earn $1 million, right? A year or a month. You didn't achieve your wildest dreams. But what if you achieved your floor? How good would you feel? Would you still be happy? And then I asked ChatGPT to define being rich. ChatGPT turned around and said, look, rich typically refers to possess substantial financial wealth or assets that allow a person to live a luxurious lifestyle and enjoy significant material comfort and have access to high quality goods, services, and opportunities. for me, the way that landed was like, you go to a restaurant, you don't even bother looking at the prices on the right. You just look at what's on the left and you order. You walk into a car dealership, you're not even paying attention to the sticker price. I mean, you're frugal, right? Don't get it twisted. Even people with money like a good deal. But you walk in there and you're not concerned about really how many zeros are behind it. You just say, that looks good, I like it, let's work out a deal, give me that, right? Living life like that, right? And so then I asked ChatGPT, well, really, what's the likelihood of an entrepreneur or a high income earner earning $1 million a year in revenue? And it came back to me and it said 0.01%. That's not elite. That's beyond elite. Like that's some unicorn type stuff. Because it really is. Right? And let's be real, if you have all three, you have freedom, financial independence, and you're rich, you really are a unicorn. Because there's a price to be paid for each, right? Freedom isn't free, financial independence and building something to allow you to have financial independence, there's a price for that. And then being rich, there's definitely a price for that, right? And as I was reflecting on it, I was thinking to myself, you know, what's the combination for me? What's the ratio for me? It was an easy question because I reflect on this probably on a monthly basis. Like, what does that ratio need to look like? Like, how much financial independence? How much freedom? To what extent is being rich important to me, right? I know what my ratio is. I know what my priorities are, right? In terms of what that combination looks like. And the question I pose to you is, what's yours? In 2025, have you sat down and really asked yourself, what's driving you? What's your locomotive, right? Let's break that down. Loco meaning crazy, motive being what's driving you. What's your locomotive, if you will, right? Because I think a lot of people are pursuing certain things. Not because it would really create happiness for you, but it would create the illusion you'd get to participate in the circus, right? But I know so many people who've climbed the corporate ladder. I know so many people who become exceedingly rich. And I've had conversations with them, and they don't feel free. They don't sound free. A lot of them aren't even, financially independent because, money comes and goes, right? It's not always how much you earn, but how much you keep. And then the strings, the cuffs that are attached to them to have those things, right? I imagine some people would rather have all the freedom in the world with some financial independence than to be rich, right? They don't need the luxury. They don't need to live the life of luxury. They don't need to wear somebody's mortgage on their wrist or around their neck, right? Or wear it on their face, right? But once again, I thought it was just a fascinating discussion to have. I really believe as entrepreneurs, I'll just put it that way, that it's a really good gauge, if you will, to really define where you want to be, how you want to live in, how you want to be living, the life and the style that you have. They say life is what you're blessed to have, style is how you live it, right? So I hope this serves you, whoever's listening to it today. Have a fantastic day. I celebrate success in advance. Goodbye for now.